Well, bingo. Okay, we're recording. Hey guys, and welcome to our Magic Moments Monday night team training. I want to make tonight brief, but straightforward and straight to the point on that note. It's as you guys know, we always talk about this business being a personal development program disguised as a business. It's very good to embrace all that coaching around the self-growth. It's a very important part, I believe, of the business. But there can be the danger of playing in that comfortable place or that comfortable zone of thinking we're working, but we're actually just working on ourselves. And I've heard a lot of the leaders, a very common theme they have is income earning activity. So you'll hear a lot of the NMD say, you know, they might spend 2 hours a day on the business, but really what they're doing is maybe spending half an hour on the personal development, half an hour on follow-ups, half an hour on working with their team, but really they're non-negotiable where they say they're building their business and making a difference is talking to people. And you'll hear different numbers in that from those NMDs, so or even those top leaders, and was it here at NMD, that they have a number in their head of how many people they're going to share either the product and or the business with. So a follow-up to them doesn't count as a conversation. As I said, listening to an audio on you know, handling objections doesn't count as work for them. Their work is literally, and we mention this every week actually on our Wednesday call, that we get paid to talk to people. And I think the difference between those people succeeding very well in the business and those that are not is they're very clear on that. So what I want to do today is really emphasize that clarity that they have. Selena's told me time and time again, when I'll have a coach call with her, she'll tell me, Paul, you've got a superb work ethic. It's all there. The only difference between you and the NMDs, people that are succeeding, is they're just doing, like, whatever you're doing, they're doing 100-fold or 10-fold. So, you know, as we start out in the business, talking to one person per day might be a big achievement for us, and that's perfect. You know, that's perfect. That's a big achievement at the time. But as the business, as you move through, gain your confidence around yourself, your confidence around the product, you have an absolute belief in our profession, in our industry. We need to start upping that. Otherwise, we're going to sit in that comfortable place. And trust me when I say that's what I've done for a long time. And it's great for maintenance. So if you get your business to where a place where you're happy with it, that's great. But it's just not going to grow anymore. So with that grid, does everyone understand? Just put a nod if you understand what that grid is. That's a thumbs up. Yep. I'm going to actually unmute all, and we can all, because there's not many of us on here, which is good. We can really have a chat. Has anyone worked out their DMO? The DMO is your daily method of operations. Your DMO is your commitment to those conversations, as in, i.e., I'm going to be talking to 3 people about the business today and 3 people about the product. Has anyone set themselves a goal, a number? Ingrid. I've just chosen you, make sure on my screen you're the top left, and I'm just going to work my back around earlier.
Sorry, what did you say?
Have you set yourself a goal of how many people per day you're going to share Juice Plus with?
Is that i.e. like what we talked about today?
Correct.
Yes, well, we set that at the moment as 1 a day. Is that what we were saying?
Yep, 100%. Okay. So
yep.
I knew that, the others didn't, and I thought for that reason, and also it's good to publicly state what your intention is.
Yep.
You got to remember, in our business, if you're not making mistakes and you're not growing, you know what I mean? So you put it out there for 1 a day. You and I, just so everyone knows, Ingrid and I are chatting on Thursday, which means that she will have spoken to 3 people because we had the conversation today, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and might even be 4 people on Thursday.
Yes.
And isn't that a cool thing?
Yes, it is.
Tell me how that's making you feel right now.
Nervous.
Okay. Why?
Oh, well, because it's new.
Yep.
But that's okay. It's the ball's rolling. So,
Yep.
Thursday it'll be better.
Yep. And when you say new, if it was old or new, what's the nervousness?
Well, I suppose just because it's a new experience for me, it's not something I'm used to. So it's just getting out of my comfort zone. So that's okay.
Yep.
As I said, by Thursday it'll be more comfortable.
Oh, okay. So kudos to you, mate, because that's a really powerful statement. Because by Thursday it'll be more comfortable, and that is fact. Is if you do nothing tomorrow, nothing Wednesday, Thursday will be a very uncomfortable day for you. If you do something tomorrow, if you connect out and reach out to somebody tomorrow, and the next day, Thursday, will be comfortable.
Or more comfortable. Yeah.
Hey, I have got no earphones. I can hear you. You won't hear me. And that'll be Julia. I reckon you've got headphones and you just don't want to get caught in. No worries. So, Ingrid, I think that's a really cool goal. And I think by setting a really, really short time frame on it, i.e. that we're chatting on Thursday, is a really cool thing, because you get to go into action. It's like, oh my, I've got to do this, right? And it's going to happen. And then on Thursday, we will set a new goal.
Yep.
You will set a new goal. Kay, how about yourself?
I'm a bit sluggish now. I did start off setting a goal when I was doing it, pretty intensely, but I've actually slackened off because of I'm still grappling with my work commitments, and so that I can actually set my realistic DMO and really start off. Yeah. So I'm still trying, but I've fluctuated, and so now I need to get myself really going. That's coming now.
Okay, so here's a cool thing. We have social media where you can send someone a PM, and it's kind of not, you might not PM someone at 2 a.m. in the morning, but it's not absurd or offensive to PM someone at 10 p.m. at night. Send them a private message. Sending someone a text message, because people have had phones for so long now. You send someone a text message at 9:30. Would you all agree that that's pretty standard practice, that you would text someone at, for me, depending on the person, I'll text them at 6:30 in the morning, depending on the person, So I guess what I'm alluding to, Kay, is sometimes we think we don't have time. If we just have a look at the tools available to us to communicate with people, and I know you're very much a face-to-face person, and I love that about you, but sometimes we just need to do what we can do and how we can do it at that given time to keep the conversation going. And you'll hear Eric Warren talk about it in GoPro. He said the reason we have an exposure is to set up the next exposure. So he'll say posers will have an exposure and leave it at that. Amateurs will have an exposure and then have the next exposure at some stage. Professionals will have the exposures after exposure after exposure, and condense those into the shortest time frame possible to get to a yes or a no for that person. Why do we want to do that? Is so we can qualify them as someone that's either interested in the product or interested in the business or not. Because if they are, we want to shift them into that next phase. You know what I mean? Plus, you also need to, not you personally, but all of us need to, place value on our time. We don't need to be dragging. So I think, Ingrid, back to you, it's about being brave about those questions. When you've shown someone some information, you don't say, what do you think? What do you think? It's just giving them the opportunity to give any answer, and it could be a negative one. Hey, listen, what did you like most about it? What about the information I sent you? What about that resonated with you most? What did you like about it best? And when they give you that answer, you can, he even does this 1 to 10. He said, look, okay, out of 1 and 10, what's the interest level for you? And if they say a 4, Eric Warrior's response is, well, that's good because it's not a 0, so you can work forward from there. So all you do is go, how would I get your interest from a 4 to a 6? You may or may not be comfortable with that. You might say, listen, what's your level of interest? And they'll tell you, look, yeah, it's pretty interesting. Listen, is it enough for you to go, hey, I'd like to give this a shot. I'd like to try this out for just 4 months, Or are you in that stage? And they might be, if they say, look, yeah, and they say, look, you need some more information. They might then go, yeah, what particular information are you looking for that would help you move towards that, that openness, that yes decision? And don't be afraid to ask those questions, right? Like, you want to be a good communicator. So, but don't, again, I wouldn't do the old, what did it make sense to you much, or would you prefer to see some more information? Don't assume one or the other. Ask them straight out. Start at the top and come down. Listen, would you like to give it a shot? Would you like to see what this could do for you over a 4-month period? And when I say, okay, more information there. You know what I mean? Work your way down rather than work your way up. So, Kay, would you like to, right now, knowing that you can work this around your work hours, like you could get off the call tonight, and even text people or PM, do a private message, would you, or an email, but would you like to, and that's just to get a conversation going, to ask for a better time to try and chat with them, would you like to set a number per day?
Probably not just at this stage, Paul, because I'm working through quite a bit with my health as well.
Yep.
So I'm just stepping back a little bit
Yep.
because I can't really commit the time. It's a bit heavy with my medical component now at the moment.
Yep.
So I am just stepping back just a fraction, and then once I get through this period, I'll be certainly doing it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, Kay, is it a per day? What about a per week? Would that be better for you? Like maybe 2 people per week or 1 person a week?
Just at this stage, I don't want to put pressure on myself.
Yep.
But as soon as I am through this stage, which hopefully won't be too much longer, at least I'm just waiting on something from Germany now to try and help me. So yeah, I just need a little bit more time at this stage.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay, cool. Julia? Yeah, I know you don't have Oh, yes.
Oh,
yeah.
there you go. I wasn't sure.
Don't worry, mate. You've got 5 fingers on one hand, you've got 10 on 2 hands, so we were going to get to you. What about a number for you? I know, and just to help everyone understand where you're at, is you're just one customer and a team member away from fast tracking to SDVF.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, don't get too excited, mate. You know the
yes, I'm just, when I finish this, I'm going down to place another order. So yeah, I'm getting close.
Who's that? Helen's order?
No, Jodie's order. So that'll be, yeah. I've still got to find that next person.
That one more. Okay, cool. So for you, would you like to? And when I say commit, it's not committing to us. This is committing to you. You're just committing publicly. Would you like to commit to a particular number of people you would like to share the product and or business with per day?
Per day, we go with 2.
2? Yep.
2.
And is that 2 product or 1 product, 1 business?
Oh, yes. I probably need to go 2 product, 1 business.
Ooh, I think that's cool. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So we're chatting almost every day anyway. So why don't we go day by day on that? Or because I know we might chat at lunchtime tomorrow. It's not very fair when the day's not done to then say, hey, have you achieved that? The day's not done. So maybe on Wednesday, we can have a look what was done for Tuesday, and when we chat on Thursday, we can have a look at what you achieved for Wednesday. So we'll be a day behind, I guess, if you like. Is that cool?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it. So a 2 and 1. That's great. Moving along, Arthur.
Hey.
How about you, mate? Are you interested in committing to some actual action?
Yeah, well, I am actually. I mean, I'm tied up with two subjects at uni for the next about 11 weeks, but I'm using my contact with, a whole new range of students, find some prospects amongst them.
Yep.
And I also hang out down at the plaza, and I also talk to the people I call the sweaties. They're you know, the physical exercise style students, you know.
Yep.
And I talk about the science and suggest to have a look at it. And there's a whole lot of nursing students. I haven't met any of the new ones this year, but that's what I find. Talking to old farts my age in coffee shops is not nearly as interesting to talking to 20 to 25-year-old students down at the university, and particularly the ones who are into fitness and health and studying that area.
Good
They're
one.
a bit resistant, but
Yep,
I just
that's okay. So for now, you're happy not to commit to a number, but you're happy to just plod along and talk when you can.
Yeah, at the moment, yeah.
Okay, cool. Cheryl, what about you?
I'm going to aim, my goal is one product, one business per day.
Ah, I love it. You're straight out with that too.
Yep.
What's the one product, one business you're talking about?
Actually speaking to somebody to invite them to look at the business.
Okay.
And speaking to somebody to invite them to look at the product.
Bingo. I love it. I'm going to put out there for 2 and 2. So write whatever your numbers were on your grid. Just write goal and mine's 2 by 2. This means that any follow-ups or customer care calls, they're not a part of your DMO in terms of income producing, but they are important in terms of achieving those. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yep.
Yep. Just as much as doing your personal development is very important, vitally important. It's not an income earning activity. So that's why we always talk about the university on wheels. You know, like when you're in the car, that's when you listen to your personal development stuff. I don't tend to sit down in working hours doing that stuff. I'll do that when I'm in the car. It's dead time to me, so I figure I'll make it, you know, valuable time. Now, can I just get a show of thumbs of anyone who, when this question was just put upon them, went, "Oh my God, 2 a day? I don't know, 2 a day. Oh, yeah, no, don't panic." And went, "Oh my God, what am I committing to? 1 or 2 a day or whatever it is." Did anyone think was everyone comfortable?
I'm comfortable with you do 2 a day.
Okay, so in all honesty, I'm like, well, how am I going to do that? But this is the thing. We need to start somewhere, because once we're doing that, even just trying and reaching out. See, the top leaders will say it's not a conversation unless you've actually chatted and shared it, but we're not sharing it. And so, for example, tomorrow I might strike up 2 conversations, right, around the product or business, doesn't matter, but I might not get to that part of the conversation yet. But then I set up the next exposure. Hey, listen, it was really cool talking. You know, I'd love to chat sooner when we need to chat. And, or you might say, look, I'm really keen on finishing this conversation. I've got to run. I'm really keen on finishing this conversation. But can I give you a buzz on Thursday? Whatever. Now you've got them in your 1 to 31 to call back. And on that day, they could be the one person or the 2 people, whatever it is you're committed to, that you talk to the business or product about. Does that make sense to you guys? So there will be a getting going period here, and that's okay. It's all cool. You know, don't put the pressure on yourself. Oh, yeah, no. I've got no one to talk to. You might have a random conversation tomorrow with someone. You know, like just today, I had 3 private messages come back from private messages I sent, 2 days ago, or over a space of 2 to 3 days ago, from people that I stay in touch with. And, you know, within that comes an opportunity to get there, you know what I mean? But if you're not starting that conversation somewhere with somebody daily, it's not going to happen. Does that make sense? So it could be, Ingrid, your 1 per day might be just starting a conversation. And in 2 weeks' time, if you've had a conversation with a person every day, and let's just say you take the weekends off, in 2 weeks, that's 10 people you've spoken to. Out of those 10, surely there's going to be another conversation whereby they might become that one person you actually speak to the business to. While that's going on, 2 weeks after that, you've now got 20, and so on and so forth. Does that make sense to you guys? Yeah, is everyone happy with that?
Yep.
And that's why we must do you remember last week we did the 1 to 31, the tracking?
Mm-hmm.
That's why. So they don't just go in for me, they don't go into my tracking sheet if I've had 5 conversations with them over a 5-week period, and then finally in the 5th week, I've shared with them some information about Juice Plus, the product. That's not when they go into my 1 to 31. They went in 5 weeks earlier when they had the very first conversation. You know, hey, spoke to Matt today about, you know, he's got his new girlfriend and she's really cool. She does this, blah, blah, blah. And I said, let's catch up again, and I'm going to be calling him on Thursday. On Thursday I call him and we chatted about this or that. Doesn't matter. It might be 5 conversations later where we get to health and wellness or nutrition or money or home-based business. Doesn't matter. When we get there, I've got already that going through my tracking system. Now he could be that one person. Now imagine you're talking to one person every day over a month. How many have you spoken to? 30. Take away your weekends, -8, so you've spoken to 22 people. Do you know what I mean? And in 2 months' time, and in 4 months' time, and in 5 months' time, and by the end of the year, that's when we've got momentum. That's when we've got warm contacts, you know what I mean, or warm market moving through our call system. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And in that time, you'll know who you need to speak to first. You'll make your priority out of those 5 people that you're reconnecting with today. And then you'll get to this stage where you go, my God, there's too many people to talk to. I've got so many follow-ups. You're going to have to decide, look, am I going to do these follow-ups that are really, really warm, that are close to over the line to the product or the business, or am I going to strike up new ones? And that's a really cool place to be. You know, that's your problem for the day, your work dilemma. You know what I mean? Does that make sense to everyone?
Sure does.
Okay, cool. So I'm sticking my hand up for 2 and 2. I'll be filling this out. And I'm going to be, with this 2 and 2, you don't write who they are. Like you don't write down on Monday morning, Jenny, John, Jack, and James. You write the name in there once you have had a conversation. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. This grid is purely, Jeff Roberti he talked about it like this. His one was 10 people a day he talked to. And he put 10 coins in the right pocket. And every time he spoke to somebody, he'd take 1 coin out of the right pocket and put it in the left pocket. He wouldn't go to bed until all the coins were in the left pocket. Does that make sense? That was his. Whether he actually did that, I don't know. I'd like to ask him if it was genuine, but the concept is cool. Okay, and that's all this is. We write a name down. So at the moment, I've got 5 per day, right? So I need to be filling up where I'll speak to somebody and they're on the business. Now tomorrow I might speak to 2 people and not get to the business. So they're just 2 people. Like they don't get a B next to them or they don't get a P. P product or B for business. But on Wednesday when I speak to them again, they might. Does that make sense? But I've got to be sure that on Wednesday they don't count for my new conversations. So does that make sense to you guys? So on Wednesday I'm going to have a space taken for James, who I spoke to on Monday, and I might speak to him on Wednesday about the business, but I've still got to have my 2 and 2 new ones. Does that make sense? Right, so now when you look at it, making a commitment to 1 a day is pretty significant. You can see how NMDs who are doing, 5 to 10 a day, it's a massive commitment. Now, they do a thing called the 90-day game plan, where they do this for 90 days, basically for 3 months. Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, Julia put a post out Friday, Julia? Yep. Friday, she put a post out about the Shred 10. Friday, I put a post out about the Shred 10. In fact, she saw my post and said, awesome verbiage, I'm just going to copy that. So she did her own little thing and then she did the verbiage around, I'll be placing orders over the weekend just to make sure everybody's ready to go. Now she, and that's a finger point, has had how many people come back to you on that?
God. What was it? Was it around, what is that, like messages or likes?
Messages?
Messages.
2 or 3, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was, did it go more than that?
Right. Well, how many likes did you get?
But yeah, I got
Okay.
or
Right. So I have had no messages.
40 or 50 likes maybe.
Jesus Christ. Right. So I've had about 3 likes. I think you were one of them. You know what I mean? So poor me, right? Not poor me. I've got to go and do something else. I've got to change. I've got to mix up. I've got to do something. Julie's having great luck with it, right? With your likes, that's a warm market. You can hit someone's
likes.
Right. Well, you can go to the comments and comment back and say, hey, thanks for that. You know what I mean? And ask them their general level of interest. What about it resonated with you, or what about it? Thanks for liking my post. It really means a lot to me. How's everything going with your health? You can do whatever. We've been through lots of these conversations, and I can see that you're doing well with them when I look through your page. With the likes, you can also send someone a private message and say, hey, listen, thanks for liking that post. It really meant a lot to me. I'm having an amazing time doing my third shred and now taking a girlfriend through it as well. Listen, can I just ask you, have you got an interest in doing something about improving your health? Now that's a conversation, right? Like, how good is that? So of your post, you got some likes and movement. I got nothing, so I've got to do something else. So we've got to get out there and just make no excuses and get busy. Does that make sense for everyone?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. So next week for this training call, what would you guys like to do? Would you like to just get training on something else around the business, whether it be the virtual office? Would you like to kick off the call with all owning up to what we've done in the past week? Personally, I think that's a great idea. It's going to put some healthy pressure on me. I've got no shame if I show up on Monday's call and go, yeah, I got 3 days done, but I didn't get, I got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday done, and then I didn't get Friday or Monday done. But I know it's going to put me into action if I know I've got to look at you guys all on Monday again and share what I've done. You may have some questions in that time about some people that you've spoken to. You can pop that into Magic Moments, the Messenger, or which is probably better than putting up in our Facebook page. Put that in the Messenger. Is everyone cool for that, or what would you like to do? Because this is your business. This training is your training.
No, that'd be good. I think what we've done during the week. Start off with that.
Okay, Cheryl, what do you feel about that? Yes or no?
Yeah, look, I'm happy to do that because I need to be kept accountable.
Bingo. Julia.
So,
Sounds good.
Yeah, again, you're getting too excited. Okay, cool. Ingrid, what about you, mate? You happy with that? And Kay, you're playing it. Yep.
Yeah, but I'm happy to listen in because it's gearing me up, ready to go.
Yep, and you never know. You might have 3 people that you spoke to. You can share that with us too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty focused at the moment on
Other things. Yep. No dramas. Okay, cool. I'm gonna wrap it up. Has anyone got any questions? Does anyone need to understand something better about that 30-day grid, or just even a random question that's got nothing to do with 30-day grid?
I think I've been kicked off.
Kicked off what?
Well, I can't see any picture. Can you see me?
Yeah, mate. We're looking right up your nostrils when you do that.
Oh, right. Okay, I'm back again.
Yeah. There you are. Ingrid, questions?
I don't know. I just thought, I've got Julia. Can Julia hear me?
Yeah.
I just thought, because you're fairly new to it, how did you sort of approach your first conversations or calls?
Probably I went through some of my friends, like just talking to them about my experience. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yep.
I can. Thanks.
Just really just talking to some of my closest friends about my experiences and how I was feeling and things like that. And just some of the results I'd gotten with a bit of weight loss and things. And they were all sort of keen. I think a lot of my friends are about in the same place that I was in. So it's sort of like passing that on to them. And then now I'm finding I've just had a come through tonight that they're now passing it on to people that they know and asking, and these people, and then coming back to me to see how they can, different friends of theirs can contact me.
Okay.
And then I think probably the best thing I did, and I think you were talking to Paul about it last week, was putting out that Facebook post, which was just one of those things that took me I just kept umming and ahhing, and I put it out there. And, just people I never thought, if I did a list of 50 people, they were never even on that list. And a lot of people have come back and asked the question about it.
Okay, yeah. Okay, great. All right. Thank you. Awesome.
Bingo. Is everyone happy?
Yep.
Right.
We've this is really cool because we've got some action to get into tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day, and then we'll see you on Monday.
Okay.
Now, before we go, I would like to say that my diary's not here, but if I can pull this off the top of my head, Wednesday this week for our product/business opportunity Zoom, we have Natalie Baldock.
Yeah.
Right? It's a super privilege to get her on the call. Like a super privilege. So I think Ingrid, you can't make it. Julie, you've got your auntie, but
Not coming.
you'll be on.
I'm on. Yeah.
Brilliant. You're going to love it. Right? It's so cool to hear And it's great. We've been seeing the lessons with the NMDs through Celine every day through March. That will stop, well, unless she continues it, whatever. And there's been gold in that, but we're getting her for us, not for everybody, but for us. It's a really cool thing. So Wednesdays, as a part of your DMO, must be a priority to be bringing guests onto those calls, whether it be product or the business. Okay, we're not doing these calls just for us. We want to use these as a platform to expose other people to, because when you hear, like you will have probably felt when you saw Christine Drummond, Abby, Melanie Brandt, and Beck McCullum, is you wish that someone else was on there hearing it, someone that you care about, right? So it's your job to start promoting these to people to come and have a look at. Following week, we'll have Carla Shamer, the former Carla Thomas. So a real young girl who nailed it to NMD. All right, so another flavour. The following week, we have the Celine Egan. Right, Celine Egan is why this company is flipped over backwards and has so many NMDs going through, and why the company has grown so fast, so big, and why the culture is so solid and strong. So Celine's next. Then after that, we have Val Gamer, Valerie and Sonny, her husband. Valerie is a great story. Ingrid, I think you'll really love Val's story. She's right up there with Kira Westwick, where she was really shy, never thought of herself speaking to 2 people, let alone in front of 1,000 people on stage, and she's just kept in her truth, kept in her values, kept in her authenticity, and grown. And the best thing you hear about these people is they touched the heart of 5 people directly to them, but those people touched the hearts of others, and they nurtured those people as well. And so, it's a crazy concept that when those queens are at conference and they've got 50 plus people, 50 plus 100 people from their team, and some of them, they don't even know who they are. They've not even met them before. They're just 3, 4, 5 generations down, and from their heart, they're super grateful to meet these people, because without those people, they wouldn't be where they are, having the amazing feeling they have of making a difference to people like those people. So I can't stress enough about us showing some good, solid gratitude of having good, strong numbers on those Wednesday calls, not just for them, but for us. That makes sense? Okay, cool. Good night. See you all later.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.